Hey, what's up, guys? Welcome back to Guys at Magic. This is Hunter, David, and Shane. Say what up, boys.
How's it going, everybody?
What's up, nerds?
Welcome back to another day of Modern Horizons 3 spoilers. That's right, still going with today being May 29th, 2024. We have got the entire main set spoiled. That is right. We are done with the main set now. We are just moving on to all of the precons as well. So we will be talking about a couple cards from the main set today, a couple cards from each precon that was announced. That's the Eldrazi Incursion, as well as the Tricky Terrain deck. Pretty cool cards from each one. So without further ado, I just want to remind everybody to check the link in the description for our Instagram, because we have all of the commons and uncommons and all of the cards from spoiler season. And don't forget, tomorrow, final day of spoilers, because there's one more deck. We'll go through the cards that we missed, as well as all of the top liked comments on our Instagram. So once again, at Guys of Magic for that. So let's get started. This first card is our final rare of the main set. It's the final cycle of the lands here. It's the Arena of Glory. It's a land that says it enters the battlefield tapped unless you control a mountain. Also has an ability you can tap for a red, and another ability we can pay a red, tap it, exert Arena of Glory, add 2 red mana. If that mana is spent on a creature spell, it gains haste until end of turn.
That's cool. Gain some exert
It is
again.
cool. Yeah, so you're not going to have this land once it's exerted
For a
for
turn.
at least another turn.
Yeah.
But split up those red mana on 2 different creatures, and they both have haste.
That is a good point, actually.
If you're playing in like a Gruul Stompy deck too, there's plenty of cards in green that have the ability to untap lands. So you could just constantly keep exerting this and getting haste.
I think I like this card.
I do too. It's kind of like one of the cheaper ways to give something haste in the game. Pretty cool. I like that.
Flexibility on a land. I think this is a good card.
And it
Yeah,
can
this,
come in untap, dude. Love it.
This whole land cycle seems welcomed.
Pretty solid, yeah.
Yeah. So Arena of Glory, I think we'll see a ton of play.
I agree.
Do you think you'll see play in modern day? Giving something haste is no joke.
Maybe. I don't know. I'm gonna leave it with a maybe.
Well, it's not fetchable.
Maybe.
That's the only thing.
Time will tell. I'm excited to see the first modern event when the set comes out.
Yep.
So yeah, like I said, that's the only rare. That's the final rare of the set. So the next couple of cards are just common cards that were talked about in the community. This first one is Accursed Marauder. It's 1 and a black for a 2/1 creature zombie warrior. When Accursed Marauder enters the battlefield, each player sacrifices a non-token creature. Dave, this is the cheapest version of Fleshbag Marauder we've ever seen in terms of mana value.
I love the fact that this is a common.
This is a common. Yeah. It's really good.
It is extremely good. This is power creep, dude.
I might be an abusive friend because I love these cards.
Oh, we know. We 100% know.
I love these cards. I love reanimating these cards.
This is just strictly better than Fleshbag, right?
It just means you get to have 2 of them now.
I mean, it's cheaper and non-token.
Yeah, it punishes your opponents saying non-token. Where Fleshbag was 3 mana and it just said sack a creature.
What I love about this though is the fact that you're like trying to compare this to Fleshbag as if it's like, oh well, David's just gonna take Fleshbag out of his deck and put this one in. No, Hunter, I'm running both.
That's why I just said that. Yeah. You just get to have another copy now.
I know. But yeah, I think this card is amazing. We're gonna see this in that dumb strategy I always play, Dave, which is kind of the aristocrats-ish.
that dumb Dave strategy. Yeah, we know.
I mean, extra upside on this one too is this is a zombie, which can be relevant. There are plenty of cards that love bringing zombies back from the graveyard too.
Yeah.
So this is like extra recursive.
Yeah. There's nothing. I can't find any bad, in the words of Steven.
Yeah, exactly that. Moving on to this next card, once again, another common. It's Aether Spike. It's 1 and a blue for an instant. It says choose target spell. You get 2 energy counters. Then you may pay any amount of energy. Counter that spell unless the controller pays 1 for each energy paid this way. It's pretty cool. Depending on how many energy you have, you can just be like, you know what? This is just a counter.
Yeah. I'm trying to think, like, Because I guess if you're playing an energy deck, yeah, you could be like, I'm paying 5. Have fun.
Yeah. Good luck paying 5. Do you really want that spell?
It just sucks
Once
that,
again,
yeah.
it's another way to spend your energy there, Dave. What do you think?
I don't know if I like this card. It's a mana leak, but for energy. And if I don't know, if you have a ton of unspent mana or a ton of unspent energy, then that's cool. This is a sink for it. But like, if you only have the 2 energy that you're feeding back into this card, this isn't good.
Yeah, just pay 2 and I wasn't really sure about this either. Or maybe
I don't know. It's situational.
yeah. Is there ever a world where you just play this to get 2 energy?
You could.
I don't know.
I mean, 2 mana make 2 energy, unless you
I
had
know.
some to do.
Probably not.
Two other
I was
energy?
just
Who
thinking
knows?
about it, yeah.
Are you saying like I'm gonna counter your spell, but I'm not gonna sink any energy into
Yeah.
the card that just pay
Yeah,
0?
yeah.
that's all you
Probably
need to
not.
do.
Probably not a world where that happens.
Maybe. I don't know. Probably not. You're right. Let's go ahead and move on to the precons now. This first precon we're talking about is the Eldrazi one. That's called Eldrazi Incursion. It was spoiled by a Japanese site, and so thanks to MTG Goldfish for the translations here. This first one is Angelic Aberration. It's 5 and a white for a 4/4 creature Eldrazi Angel. It's got Devoid, it has Flying and Vigilance, and it says when it enters the battlefield, sacrifice any number of creatures with base power or toughness 1 or less. Create that many 4/4 colorless Eldrazi Angel creature tokens with Flying and Vigilance.
Is there anything more scary than a Eldrazi Angel?
It is pretty terrifying. I'm not gonna lie.
I mean, it's not the first time we've seen one.
Well, just scary, Dave.
What do we think about this effect, though? Because there's plenty of Eldrazi's that make those little 0/1 colorless ones that you can get rid of to make
Sacrifice, yeah.
colorless mana,
Mhm.
which means you can go ahead and wipe all those to make them 4/4s.
Yeah. I'm scared about Eldrazi's, man. I know the point of them are just
I'm
they're
scared.
like they're just expensive, man. It's just, and I get it, the point of them, but like the effect is good, but 6 mana scares me.
I
The card
mean,
is cool. Without the little cheap creatures, it doesn't do anything now. So like, this is definitely a payoff if you're playing a lot of like the Spawn or Scions.
Yeah.
mhm. Yeah, and like, I don't know. This is white, so technically you don't even need to put it in the Eldrazi deck. You can have like a token strategy in green-white, and you have a bunch of plants. Sacrifice all the plants to make them angels or something like that.
Oh, dude, or put it in the black-white deck. We saw that demon that if you sacrifice an angel, then you get a bunch of counters or blood tokens.
There you go.
That'd be cool
Ye-
too.
Do you want to sacrifice this though?
I mean,
Mhm.
it makes angels, Dave.
I mean, yeah, sure. Let's move on to this next card from this precon. It's Eldritch Immunity. It's 1 colorless mana for a kindred instant Eldrazi. It says target creature you control gains protection from each color until end of turn, and it has an overload of 4 in a colorless.
Wow,
Pretty cool, huh?
that seems strong.
I'm gonna die to this.
Yeah, you are.
Overload. All of my stuff has protection from every color.
This seems like a real card.
This is a protection, and this is definitely a finish the game spell.
Yeah.
Yeah, this has that like a Chroma's Will kind of power level to it, where it's like if you do overload this, chances are you're just killing a player.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. Even outside of Eldrazi decks, like there's enough lands that just like you could be running like Pain lands. You could be like running the Talismans, Mind Stone, like tons of different options out there to be able to reduce that colorless. So I think this is probably good enough to just see play in just decks
Mm-hmm.
in general.
I agree.
The only little caveat with this is, I guess, if your opponents are playing like an artifact creature heavy deck, maybe they don't die. Because colorless
true.
is not a color.
That's true.
True, that's true.
Or if they're playing against more Eldrazi's that have the void, right? Those aren't color either.
Yeah, there you go.
I like this though. This is very good.
Good card, good.
Good card, good. Nothing much more to say about that one. Move on to the final card we'll talk about from this precon. It's Mutated Cultist. It's 2 and a black for a 1/3 creature Eldrazi horror. It's got Devoid. It says when you cast a spell Remove all counters from up to one target permanent or opponent. The next spell you cast this turn costs 1 less to cast for each counter removed this way. It's got Death Touch. So there you go, Dave.
Yeah,
We
there you
alluded
go.
to different ways of removing counters on players. Here's another one.
Bye-bye
I love
experience
these.
counters.
Yep. I don't know. I love this. I love that we have an ability that like allows us to interact with experience counters. I'm bummed in that the fact that my precon, the tricky terrain, the one that I'll be upgrading, is the one that actually utilizes that mechanic. So I know that'll be the target of this card. It's a cool card.
Hey, I could be the target too, man. Energy.
Ooh, that is true.
Yeah, you get rid of all my energy, and I'm just super bummed.
Dude, am I allowed to add these cards to my precon upgrade?
Absolutely not.
It's going in then.
Due to my own personal bias.
Yeah, this is a really good card. It makes things cheaper too. So, yeah, I think this might be a staple in a lot of decks maybe moving forward. Plus, it has Death Touch. It just gets better.
That's true.
Let's move on to the deck you've been alluding to, David. That is the one you are doing. It is the Tricky Terrain deck. We will talk about 3 cards that people think are the most talked about. This first one is called Copy Land. And just like its name, it kind of does what it does. It's 2 and a blue for an enchantment. It says you may have Copy Land enter the battlefield as a copy of any land on the battlefield, except this enchantment in addition to its other types.
Yeah,
Copy
solid.
Land.
Pick the best land on the battlefield. Any of you like utility lands or anything like that? Hopefully, you're not using this on a basic or like a command tower or something like that, unless you are desperately mana screwed. No, but this card does have some really powerful effects. Get an additional copy of whatever the most powerful land is that you control, and really mess with your opponents.
Like a Field of the Dead, dude. 2
Jeez.
Field of the Deads.
Field of the Dead would be pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, as long as David's not copying destroy lands, I don't care.
I mean, you could do that too, but they would have to destroy itself. So Copy Land would die.
David
I
would
was
do
gonna
that, though.
say, I don't think I'm gonna copy a wasteland.
I don't know.
Or I
I
would,
wouldn't.
maybe.
Yeah, I wouldn't hold it against you or hold it. What am I trying to say?
Yeah, you never
I
know.
could see you doing it.
Yeah, just to spite.
Yeah.
He finds a way to bring back enchantments from the grave. He just keeps copying Wasteland. Let's move on to the next one. Another enchantment. It's called Desert Warfare. It's 3 and a green. It says whenever you sacrifice a desert and whenever a desert card is put into your graveyard from your hand or library, put that card onto the battlefield under your control at the beginning of your next end step. It also says at the beginning of combat on your turn, if you control 5 or more deserts, create that many 1/1 red, green, and white Sand Warrior creature tokens. They gain haste. Why was this card not in the desert precon from Outlaws of Thunder Junction, Dave?
Dude, Yuma would have taken such advantage of this.
So I don't know so much about that. Like, okay, Yuma does have the ability to like sacrifice the deserts in play, so that does obviously synergize with this. But that deck was really built as like a self mill, and if you are milling those deserts, you're not actually really doing anything with this card.
But Yuma sacrifices it, makes a plant, and then it comes back, and then you make more. Like, what?
Yeah,
Shame.
Dave. This also says whenever a desert is put into your graveyard from your hand or library. So
Which is mill.
milling your counts.
All right, look, I was trying to find justification as to why it is I shouldn't be upset. I misread the card, and now I'm extra upset. Look, yes, this is a good card. If you're playing a desert deck, pick this card up. Obviously, that is the choice here. As to why it didn't get included in the previous precon, it's because Wizards of the Coast knew that I was going to be the one who was playing said precon. That is 100% of their reasoning for it.
That and
They
they want you
even
to buy
make-
more product.
They even make red, green, and white, which is literally the color combination that you were.
We just stopped talking about
So-
it with David. He's gonna get super sad.
That's all the Sand Warriors. So the Sand Warriors from that deck as well. They're still that color combination.
I'm just saying. It's the
We'll
same.
stop saying, dude.
Should have been in the deck. Should have been in the deck. Speaking of lands, we will talk about this final card. It is a land. It's called Talon, Gates of Madara. It's a gate that says when it enters the battlefield, up to 1 target creature phases out. Has the ability where you can tap it for add a colorless mana, and another ability to pay 1, tap it, add 1 mana of any color, and another ability where you pay 4 to put this from your hand on the battlefield.
Interesting.
Card
Oh,
is
so you can
good.
got it. So you can like, I was like, why? So you can phase out a creature.
Yeah.
That's
You
pretty
can
cool.
cheat this in, basically, to phase out one of your creatures for 4 mana.
Yeah.
Or if you just kind of want to ramp and put this on the field for 4 mana, also, you can phase out one of your opponent's things. It doesn't have to be yours.
Yep.
Pretty good card, Dave.
Phasing and ramping for 4 mana.
Pretty
That's
good.
cool. I like this. I like the flexibility that it can tap for a color as well. Don't really need that, but like that's dope that it's there. I like this card a lot.
Do you think we will see this in the future of more lands that can just put themselves onto the battlefield for a mana cost?
That'd be cool.
I think that's kind of dangerous. I think that's a slippery slope. I feel like green within the color pie is kind of the one that really plays around more so with land ramp. So if you do start getting more of these cards, I don't know. I feel like it starts to invalidate parts of the color pie. So if you can keep it somewhat restrictive, that's fine. I do think that this card is very interesting in the fact that it is a gate. So if you are playing a gate deck, throw this card in. Obviously, it's very good. It helps to ramp. And there are ways that you can go and fetch gates. You can go and just grab this card from your deck, put it in your hand, and you know you have a phase ability if you need to.
Mm-hmm.
And then play that dumb maze you were talking about, Dave. Win the
Yeah,
game.
Maze is it.
Win the game.
Perfect. But that is going to do it for us today. If you guys liked that video, hit that like button and subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already. Let's go around and talk about our favorite cards that we talked about today. We're going to start with Dave. I have a feeling I know what he's going to say. What is it, Dave?
It's Accursed Marauder. I love the
Mhm.
common. It's my favorite. I'm picking up 15 copies as we speak.
That sounds about right. That's ridiculous. Shane, what's yours?
Yeah, well, if I can't say the Dream Whale from yesterday, I'm picking the Cursed Marauder as well.
Whoa.
I know.
You're going Cursed Marauder as well?
Yeah, that's the only one I like, really. I mean, they're all good, but that card's nuts, dude.
I'm going Eldritch Immunity. I think that that overload cost of giving
Cool.
everything protection from every color is pretty good.
Oh, wait, let me change. I'll say Mutilated
Oh.
Cultist.
Okay, he changed. That's fine. Comment down below, what was your guys' favorite today? Always interested to hear what you guys got to say. And once again, check the description for the Instagram link. Hit those like buttons on the cards that we haven't talked about yet, because maybe we'll talk about them tomorrow in our final wrap-up video. Also, while you're down there, check the other socials. That's Twitter and TikTok at Guys of Magic for those as well. On the screen right now, those are all of our Patreon subscribers. Thank you guys so much for your added support. It means the world to us. If you guys want to see what they are seeing, which is not here on YouTube, check the link in the description for our Patreon link and consider subscribing. And until the next video, you guys have a great rest of your day. Peace.
Later.
Bye-bye.